Angry guy here, and don't mourn Matthew Perry. Don't mourn Matthew. You know, it's interesting. We talk about Matthew Perry and the life that he lived, but Matthew Perry did not live the greatest of lives. Matthew Perry made so many mistakes and he had so many opportunities. I mean, at his time of passing, he looked like someone that was in their mid 60s if they had lived a very hard life. He honestly could have passed for a 70-year-old. And I'm just being completely honest. So Matthew Perry is not someone that Matthew Perry lived his life. Let's look at this article. Okay? Let's read this article. Over a dozen life saving surgeries, 15 trips to rehab, and 6,000 visits to AA. Matthew Perry passed away recently. Many of you will know he was in a hot tub. He was found unresponsive in a hot tub and then pronounced no longer with us. Many are saying that it's likely it was a result of something related to potential substance use. But, they're saying that nothing was knowing who he was. But guys, over a dozen life-saving surgeries, 15 trips to rehab, and 6,000 visits to AA. 6,000! How Matthew Perry spent $9 million on battles with drinks and illicit products, addiction. And at one point was told by doctors, not one doctor, but multiple doctors, he had just a 2% chance of surviving. And guess what? They were right. Matthew Perry was found deceased after going under in his LA home. Saturday sources said, who also revealed that no illicit substances were found on the scene. He spent decades battling with an addiction to illicit substances and drinks, and that he detailed in his memoir, in a memoir about his life released in November of last year. Matthew Perry had dozens of life-saving surgeries. I mean, come on, guys. 15 trips to rehab clinics. He spent $9 million trying to get clean. He passed away at the age of 54. They see at home. It's very hard to believe that, guys, they cleaned it up. Let's make it very, very clean, very, very clean, very, very clear. His family, his friends, they got there before law enforcement did, before the first responders arrived, and they made sure to remove every single thing that they didn't find anything there is because because it was all picked up. All right. When they actually do if they actually do an autopsy and look into what was in his system at the time of his passing, now that will be more interesting. First responders were called to reports of a cardiac arrest at his home his Los Angeles abode. According to law enforcement sources, Perry previously detailed his battle with addiction and in a tell-all autobiography, Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing, released in November last year. In 2019, he bravely escaped, passing away after his colon burst open due to use of illicit substances, overuse. He described the moment his loved ones raced to the Los Angeles hospital, where they were told that then 49-year-old had only a 2% chance of surviving the. Come on, guys, this is enough. Look at this picture of him. Look at this, guys. This guy looks a good 65, and that's living hard. That's hard living. All right. If someone said that he was in his 70s, you would believe it. Look, guys, look at him. Look at him. All right. This is 54 years old. 54. Come on. Guys, he did Friends. And he never had to work ever again. Just like the rest of them. They were all worth like over $100 million. They've been living easy lives since 2004. I mean, even before that, they were making $1 million each per episode. And after these shows went into syndication, none of them ever had to work ever again. Okay? These people have not done hard work since, truth be told, really the 90s. Like, that was really the end of it. Friends ended in 2004. That was the tail end of the 2000s, and they have not worked since. This guy's worth like over $100 million, and this is what he chose to do. This is how he chose to live his life, and we're supposed to sit here and cry for him? I don't think so. He made his choice. Let him live with it. But I'm not crying for Matthew Perry. Matthew Perry chose this for himself. He chose to live this type of life. He chose to go this way. He chose for things to play out like this. He had so many chances. 6,000 visits to AA? Come on. Come on. This is a picture of him, February 7th, 2023. This was just taken some months ago. And this is how he lived his life. Don't cry for this guy. All right? He played Chandler on Friends, and that's all he ever did. He lived a very, very privileged life. He slipped into a coma for 2 weeks, and when he came discovered, he had been fitted with a colostomy bag he had to wear for the next 9 months. Just 2 years later, he suffered another brush with potentially passing away at a rehab facility in Switzerland. Guys, this guy. Doctors administered a sedative which interacted with the opioids in his ravaged body, causing his heart to stop beating. They managed to resuscitate him, but broke 8 ribs in the process, forcing him to pull out of a role alongside Meryl Streep in the film Don't Look Up, a lost opportunity he described as heartbreaking. The two near expiration experiences were a world away from his role as a wisecracking, hopelessly romantic Chandler Bing in Friends. The role eventually earned him around $1 million per episode. No, it wasn't $1 million per episode, making him one of the best paid actors in the world. Still one of the best paid actors in the world. But for Perry, fame came at an extremely high price, not at least the $9 million he reckons he has spent on trying to remain sober, estimating that he made some 6,000 visits to AA. He was also in rehab 15 times and underwent 12 surgeries to save his life. Guys, this is enough. This is enough. No one should be crying for this guy. At one point, his gums were so diseased from his debauched lifestyle that his top front teeth fell out as he bit into toast bread with peanut butter, and he found himself carrying them to the dentist in a plastic bag. He insisted he never turned up to the French set while not doing well. This is crazy. This is crazy. But admitted his physical on-screen appearance indicated what substance he was using at the time. Oh, come on. While not making the show, which ran between 1994 and 2004, Perry's weight varied from 2 pounds to 16 pounds. Okay, if he was skinny, it was because of, you know what, pills. If he was carrying weight, it was because he was drinking too much. And there were many times he turned up for filming, and you can obviously see that he was slurring. On one occasion during filming in the iconic Central Park coffee shop, I don't know why there are so many spelling errors in this article. Thank you, Daily Mail. It was probably written by a Gen Z, or they couldn't even be bothered to run it through AI. You know, they have access to Bing, but to Bing AI couldn't bother with that, or ChatGPT. But that's another video. Yeah. Anyway, on one occasion during filming in the iconic Central Park coffee shop, he passed out on the famous orange couch, and co-star Matt LeBlanc, who played Joey, had to nudge him awake to say his line. On another occasion, Jennifer Aniston came to his trailer and called him out for his excessive drinking, telling him in a weird but loving way that we can smell it. In 1996, he began dating Julia Roberts following her brief appearance in the sitcom, but then a global rating hit, as Susie Moss, Chandler's girlfriend. Roberts agreed to Perry's request for a cameo only if he'd write her a paper on quantum physics, which he duly faxed to her the next day. This is crazy. Their off-screen romance was brief, though, lasting only 2 months before Perry ended it. Okay, so she didn't even break up with him. He broke up with her. I think that whole thing about writing a paper on quantum physics is a joke. I don't know why she would make him do that. That's ridiculous. But he broke up with her. He says, I had been constantly certain that she was going to break up with me. So instead, facing the inevitable agony of losing her, I broke up with the beautiful and brilliant Julia Roberts, he said. Maybe he was right. Maybe he was right. She might have considered herself slumming it with a TV guy, and TV guy was now breaking up with her. I can't begin to describe the look of confusion on her face. So this guy basically could not. I mean, that's pretty terrible, actually. He couldn't write it through. That's actually quite sad. Behind this decision, and indeed many of his problems with use, laid Perry's conviction that he is broken, bent, unlovable. He traced these feelings in part to his childhood and the departure of his father, Josh Perry, whilst he was still a baby. If I drop my game, my Chandler, and show you who I really am, you might notice me, but worse, you might notice me and leave me, he wrote. So he was struggling with, please don't leave me. That sounds a little like borderline. He may have had some traits of borderline personality disorder. His drinking began with things like Heineken, and then and cheap wine when he was only 14 years old, and by his 21st birthday party, it was already showing signs of being out of control. He moved to Los Angeles to pursue his childhood dream of stardom. He appeared in several television shows before successfully auditioning for Friends. The 6-strong regular cast hit it off from the start, and their enduring friendship off camera was undoubtedly a big feature in the chemistry on set. But Perry still found filming usually stressful. I felt like I was gonna expire if the live audience didn't laugh, he admitted on the reunion show in 2001. And I would sweat and just like go into convulsions. I felt like that every night. I mean, guys, listen to me. I'm not crying for this guy. I'm not crying for this guy. This guy had so many chances, so many opportunities in life to turn things around, and he chose to go down this path. He had every chance. I am not mourning for Matthew Perry, all right? I am not mourning for him. And guys, if you're enjoying my content, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, never miss another video again, and like the video because it tells YouTube you're enjoying my content, you want to see more of it, so YouTube will show you more of it. Guys, do you agree with me? Do you agree that none of us should be mourning for Matthew Perry? He had many chances in life. He blew all of them. I'm not even going to do the whole RIP thing. He doesn't deserve it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, man, walking away and cheers.